Well, welcome to this edition of Manse Talk for March. It's good to see you. We're glad that the testing site is up and running at AFC. It has been since February and probably will continue to be on site throughout March and all of April. I called in this afternoon just to be at the church for some other reason, and I got talking to some of the organisers who said that today 100 people came to have a test, and that on a daily basis it's normally between 80 and 100. So we're glad to be doing this, offering the site for community use at this particular time. Erna and I were thrilled to have a Zoom call with the Reverend Edwin Quilden of our Harlesden church, our Link Church in North London, and to catch up with his news and their news. He sends us his greetings, and we asked him to pass on our greetings to the folk at Harlesden. Our two churches almost mirror image each other in where we are at and how we are dealing with the pandemic. My thanks to you if you've tuned in to night prayer, Compline as we sometimes call it. We've had 2 sessions so far, and we've been joined by folks not only from AFC but also from St Michael's and St John's. And night prayer on a Monday at 9 o'clock will continue right the way through this season of Lent. You probably have caught up with the news now that we're opening up on Sunday the 7th of March, going back for in-person worship at 10:30. Our elders have spent a lot of time thinking about this, going through the numbers, discussing the various scenarios, revisiting the risk assessment and asking difficult questions. But they took the decision last week that we would go back. We are going to be very keen on social distancing, sitting 2 meters apart. The chancel singers will be reduced from 6 to 3 singers. And most importantly, we're asking people not to linger in the foyers or the car park as they come into church, and definitely not to do that as they leave church. The time for fellowship on site will be later on in the year, but it's going to be good to meet up together. But we want to keep the audio service running. We're quite deliberate about this, that we want to give people the option of worshipping in different ways. The audio service will, if it's the right word, celebrate its 51st edition this Sunday. Incredible that. 51 morning services over the airways, and we're very grateful to Michael and Sarah for making that possible. We have our church AGM on Zoom on the 21st of March. It'll be an opportunity for us to receive the accounts for 2020 and the report that Bob will give us. We're not going to elect elders at this AGM. There's just a little bit of confusion in the general church world about the legal status of Zoom church meetings. They're okay. Our denominations and the Charity Commission say they're fine and should be encouraged, but any major decision, and perhaps the election of elders would fit into that category, needs to be ratified at an in-person church meeting once that's available. Well, we've taken the decision to just postpone the elders' election until maybe July. We think there's a possibility that we might have an in-person church meeting by then. We're changing the time of our after-church fellowship. It used to be over recent weeks at 11:30. We're just knocking it on 30 minutes to 12 noon. That will give an opportunity for people who are attending the in-person worship to get home and to sit in front of their computers and enjoy that 30 minutes of just catching up with people. So that's 12 noon for the after-church fellowship starting this week, and also our AGM on Zoom starts at 12 noon on the 21st of March. I want to say a big thank you to the editorial committee of Family News. It was published this week, either online or it was distributed in hard copy. People have worked so hard, and it's a really good read, and thank you very much for doing that. Well, we're going through these days of Lent. I think it's a hopeful season. It's a season as we walk towards the cross and remember Good Friday and get prepared to celebrate Easter Day. And so many good things are happening in our country at the moment. Positive signs of spring and also a return bit by bit, very gradually, to the life that we left behind last March. So travel well through Lent, and we look forward to singing in our hearts at least the Alleluias of Easter Day as we approach April. But for the time being, let us walk prayerfully, purposefully through these days of Lent together. May God bless you in all you do today. Goodbye.